What is going on, guys? Samuel World from Samuel World Reviews here, and I'm back continuing my X-Men movie series. As most of you know, I'm reviewing all the X-Men films I have reviewed yet, and we got a couple of X-Men films came out this year. Originally was 3, but now I have 2 with Deadpool 2 and X-Men Dark Phoenix. But I'm still reviewing all the X-Men films I haven't reviewed yet. I reviewed the first one on my channel I had not seen already. Now I'm here to review the much better sequel to that film, X2. X-Men United, which is once again directed by Bryan Singer, and got Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry, Frankie Jensen, James Martin, Becca Sanderson, and Penn reprising the roles, along with other reprising the roles. You also got Brian Cox as Conan Striker and Alan Cunning as Nightcrawler. And this film is basically, the X-Men and the Brotherhood, the main enemies, Magneto, are now forced to work together to stop a new evil threat that wants to destroy every mutant on Earth. I'm actually not going to be viewing this film alone, as I managed to get my good pal friend Adam from Almost Sideways, a guy who's been a big supporter of my channel, a guy who has helped me a lot. He's a great YouTuber. I do recommend checking him out. I'll leave a link to his channel description below. And I asked him if he wanted to climb out X-Men 2, and he agreed. We are also going to be reviewing on Mission Impossible 2 next month, so can't wait to that. He's going to give his review of the film first, then I'm going to give my thoughts on X-Men. So Adam, what are your thoughts on X-Men 2, X2, X-Men United?
Hey, thank you so much, Sammy, for having me on your channel. This is Adam with Almost Sideways. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, and ranking videos. So if you like that, head over to my channel and join the conversation. Join the conversation on Sammy's channel as well, because he's awesome. Anyway, X-Men 2, X-Men United. Personally, this was one of my favorite comic book movies of all time, especially when it came out, because what I think this movie did so well was take the premise of the first film and improve upon it and even up the stakes, but keep it cohesive and make a good story that streamlines to the next film. I really like the progression of the characters and learning more about this team, and now they have to go and team up with their enemies as well. This film was really entertaining. I remember going to the theater with my parents and watching this film. From the very first shot when we see Nightcrawler come out in the White House, I really liked that a lot, and getting that mystery of Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is probably my favorite addition to this franchise, and I wish I would have seen him in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, but unfortunately for whatever reason he didn't show up in that. What I really liked about this, it had several different story elements, a lot of different plot lines, but it didn't overdo it with the story. This film stayed really focused, even though it had a lot of different plots. My favorite story in this one was Wolverine and Stryker. There's a lot of different elements in there where they go to Alkali Lake and they try to figure out, unravel this mystery of Wolverine, and also try to get back Professor X there from there as well. I think Wolverine is definitely a standout in this film. Definitely had a lot more to do. He's definitely becoming more of that leader in the X-Men. I just really like Hugh Jackman and overall, and seeing one of his very first performances as the Wolverine, it definitely makes it really cool, and it's a very nostalgic movie overall for me. X-Men 2 was one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. It was right up there with Spider-Man 2. They were the cream of the crop back then in the early 2000s, because we didn't have a whole lot of comic book material to work with. Now, thankfully, we have a whole bunch of new comic book movies hitting. Seems like every couple months there's a new comic book movie out, but back then there wasn't so much to choose from. I think X-Men 2 still is really strong, one of my favorite X-Men films there is, and I am really thankful that they made a really good X-Men back in the day. And X-Men for now is kind of hit or miss, and unfortunately, like we had X-Men 3, The Last Stand, that was a dud. We got a couple of the newer X-Men that have disappointed in their own right as well, so who knows what happens with the X-Men franchise moving forward. But for sure, there's at least one bona fide solid hit in this film franchise, and that is X-Men 2, X-Men United. So if I had to rate this film, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 4 stars. I just really overall enjoy this film so much. I think this even made one of my top 10 lists for the year when it came out. Alright guys, well that's my quick thoughts on X-Men 2 X-Men United. Again, thank you so much, Sammy, for having me on, sharing my quick thoughts with you about this film. Again, my name is Adam of Almost Sideways. I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, and rankings. If you like that stuff, come over and join the conversation. We'll see you next time.
Well, thank you, Adam, for collaborating me on this. I'm glad to finally able to collaborate with you again. Be sure to check out his channel. There's a lot of great videos and reviews on there. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. But now it's time to discuss my thoughts on X2 X-Men United. I honestly freaking adore this film. Like, I mean, this is actually even better than the first one. To say how much I love the first film, that's saying a lot. Like, it pretty much took everything that was great and amazing with the first one and pretty much upped it to the T. Up to the T, like increasing the stings and a lot of stuff on this character, managed to keep cohesive and keep it a lot more interesting. Like, again, I think it's even better than the first one. Everyone still delivers an amazing performance. Again, Patrick Stewart once again delivers best acting thoughts, but that's even Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, Ian McKellen, Halle Berry. Famke Janssen delivers again Jean Grey. Like, I think Famke Janssen is a very underrated actress. Like, I don't think she gets enough attention on it, but she's a really great Jean Grey. You learn more about Jean Grey along with her powers, and maybe has a lot interesting. And it's also a very interesting love triangle she has with Cyclops Wolverine, but the love triangle actually isn't like pushed, it's like forced down your throat. It's something that really happens naturally, which is something I really appreciate. I appreciate it. Like, and the love triangle is actually a very interesting part of the film, but it's not like overblown, it's not like not necessary. It's actually very interesting, and you're very curious on what's going to happen with it. Like, with triangle between Wolverine, Jean Grey, and Cyclops. It's very interesting. And of course you got Brian Cox as Colonel William Stryker, who is a very interesting and intriguing villain. Well, like I was mentioning, the best kind of villains are the one where you can understand what they're coming from, and he is definitely one of those villains. And he has an interesting past involving Wolverine, which I won't spoil in case you haven't seen this film yet, but it's definitely very interesting stuff, and definitely was like, damn, that's definitely really interesting. Especially this moment where we ends up manipulating Professor X. I was like, man, he's a really interesting villain. He's definitely one of the best superhero villains we have actually really gotten. And you also got Helen coming as Nightcrawler, who is really great in this film, and with him, and that was one of the best superhero scenes I've ever seen in that White House scene. Like, that scene is made to be one of the best scenes in a superhero film. And I cannot agree more. It was a phenomenal and amazing scene. Like, oh my god. Now, and you also see a lot more of Rogue, Iceman, and Pyro in the film, and they all well used lines. And what I always love about the mostly X-Men films is that they have a lot of characters, yet they manage how to develop them and make them a lot more interesting and intriguing. I mean, the first film has a lot of characters, yet you can still. They'll still develop, and they're still very interesting, and they all have great chemistry with one another. They all work very well with each other. That's something I'm impressed with these X-Men films. Well, most of them, but we'll get about that on top of The Last Stand. Okay, and like I said, it retained all the greatness. I mean, the first one was so great, but then upped it just wow. And it also has a great balance about all the emotion and greatness with so many characters. And when a film can do that, I give them major props for that. And of course, you got the X-Men theme, which is incredible. You know, it's got some action scenes that are freaking incredible and badass. A story that's very interesting and really keeps you interesting and really keeps you guessing what's going on. That's kind of, in a way, rare to say about superhero film nowadays. Now, they have some really engaging themes about mutants and some stuff on their past. It's really hinting. And for a film released 2003, I think the first one, for a film released this film was like 15 years ago, and it still holds up very well. And the first one really holds up very well, and this one really also holds up incredible, especially the visual effects. They are some of the best I've ever seen in a superhero film, to be honest. It's just, wow, and it really blows my mind when I see these effects. Just, damn. And of course, there was some very tensing moments that I was kind of on the edge of my seat watching, and it really increases the big stakes from the last one again. The first one's so great, it creates a house for me actually to top it. Just, oh my god, it also has some pop moments, especially this one death scene, and especially Jean Grey, which is not spoiling, I'm sure you guys probably already knew that. But this scene, I was like, kind of hard, especially Cyclops' reaction to it. I was like, oh my god. My god, and that could have led to some interesting story involving Jean Grey. But again, we'll get into that when we talk about the next film. Because I got a lot to say about The Last Stand. But again, we'll get it. Again, we'll get it. The film is also incredibly well shot, incredibly well edited, incredibly well written, and it's a lot of fun and entertaining and a blast to watch, but it also has a lot of great emotion and heart to it. One thing I love about most of these X-Men films. That film's like, this film is truly amazing and amazing. Like, I don't know what to say that I have to know what to say about this film, man. And also, like with the first film, I don't have any problems with this film. I really can't think of any major issues I have with this movie, honestly. This film is just so amazing. Amazing. It can be fun and entertaining, but also very dramatic and heart-pounding. And it balances all the emotion and greatness with so many characters, which I truly do appreciate. Boy, certainly finding characters like Jean Grey and Wolverine, which I really interesting, makes me care more about these characters. Has effects and certain moments that still hold up incredibly well today, and has one of the best superhero scenes with Nightcrawler. X-Men 9 is overall an amazing and phenomenal superhero film. Like Adam says, also one of my favorite superhero films of all time. This film is freaking incredible, and without question, I'm going to give it I'm going to give X2 X-Men United a 100 of an A+. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed me and Adam's review of X2 X-Men United. If you have seen this film, of course, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Yeah, and stay tuned later tonight. I'll also have my review of the first Mission Impossible film with Justice Watch News that will finally be up. And tonight I'm going to be seeing Love Simon. I was going to see that film a couple weeks ago on Netflix screening, but due to some stuff I wasn't able to see it. But luckily, I know this time I actually will be able to see it. So I will be seeing Love Simon and expect to view that film tomorrow. Yeah, it's this big also have another fault I have with videos, but I want to actually know one of those videos, so but I will have one of those up soon this week, so thank you for that. Now, a lot more videos planned for you guys. Yeah, and I hopefully soon I can see Black Panther. I hope soon I can see Black Panther. I don't know why I haven't seen. I don't know why I couldn't not seen this weekend. Honestly, to be honest, I really don't know why. But I hope I can see it soon. I hope I can have viewed enough from you guys. I really want to see what's so great about the film. And I'll have also an interesting video I'll do after Black Panther. Same way you see earlier, man. That's all I'm gonna say. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. If you haven't already, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow on my social media sites, or push it below, and be sure to subscribe to Adam for Almost Sideways. Great YouTuber, great much, overall great guy. I am Stardust-oneworldreviews. I will see you guys next time, and stay cool out there. Peace.